So, welcome back to another episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. And today, there is no camera again. I don't know why, but I'm still having certain issues, software issues for whatever reason. But it is what it is, you know. Let's actually see what we can find. Is it gonna be Nat Eliasson again? It's not Eliasson or whatever. Yeah, I at least guess, assume, think. But it is probably going to be another book summary. Let's actually see. Book summary. Free. Let's actually see whether we can find a new freebooksummaries.com. And I'm going to show you, of course, as well, so that you're in on it as well. That's nice. Sample dates, bestsellers, recent materials. Let's actually see whether we can find. So we are, for the podcast listeners, on the freebooksummary.com site. It seems like there is classical ones like Shakespeare I've seen before, so it may not necessarily be what I'm searching for. Book summaries. And Animal Farm by George Orwell, and so on and so forth. I do understand when you're having to read it for school that you go through a summary and, that is it. But I would not suggest so, because non-fiction books can actually be as great as... so fictional books can be as great as non-fictional ones. Just keep that in mind. You can indeed learn something, and in the end, it is also nice, to immerse yourself in a story. Might actually be the case that it is not necessarily something you do, something you like. Some people are readers, some people are not, and this is totally fine. Period. But in the past, I also had to read some fictional books for school, and I have quite always enjoyed it. If I will do this to my students when I will ever be a teacher, I don't know if I'm going to do so. There may be some more important things to do to... can I just click it away? Yeah, I can. Fight Mediocrity, Nat Eliasson or Eliasson, Optimize Me, which are videos, paid ones. No, I do not want to have paid ones, but I've just remembered that there is Paul Miners, which is the author, or who is the author of... Well, I do not remember actually. I guess, or as far as I remember, it is a pretty known book. But yeah, anyway, but there are a ton of book summaries on his, I think, blog, I guess. I'm not quite sure, but as far as I remember, when you're just going straight down, you continue reading. No? He might have actually updated things. Products. Book summaries, there you go. By choosing resources. Wants to download all my book summary PDFs? $35. Which is actually quite okay, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, but execution. I would like to know and understand how I can sort it in not superhuman. In recent to last or something. I don't know if I can do so. 17 Anti-Procrastination Hacks by Dominic Mann, or Mann. Or Dominic Mann, could also be the case. And 4 Disciplines of Execution, the 4-hour work week. Which still, up to this point, is actually one book that a lot of people suggest people to read. It is, I think, 10 years old at this point. Came out in, maybe 15 years, maybe even 20 years. I do have the feeling that it is a 2004 book, or 2005, but I do not remember. I could also, let's actually pull Minor's book summaries. Let's do it like this, and if I cannot find something in the next few minutes, archives. Maybe this is better for me. So there we go. Is Ultra Learning really the latest one? I do remember when he put this one on. All posts in book summaries. Apparently it is the case. What if we go to self-improvement? Maybe we can find something here. But what I want to say is, we're having the paulminers.com site. We're having the powermoves.com site. We're having bestbookbits.com. We're having the Daniel Davis something site, but you're probably gonna find it when you Google for it. Then we have Ned Eliasson, Derek Sivers, of course. We're having 12-minute books, which I do understand, but well. And there was also once upon a time the Ellen Chang site, which was pretty amazing, but at this point I think book summaries and startup notes. I don't know, maybe he has revived it, but I do remember that. Oh, yes, it's called short form now, and you have to pay for it. But maybe there are some 1, 2, 3, 4 book summaries that you can go through. List of summaries that you can go through for free. Make it stick. Traction. Get a grip on your business. An unquiet mind. Sounds actually interesting. How democracies die. Hot zone. Amusing ourselves to death. Neil Postman. Make your bed by. Maybe I can remember by. It was a woman. I don't remember. No, it wasn't. William. Never mind. The Disciplines of Execution. The New York Times bestselling. Forward by whatever. Achieving Your Wildly Important Goals. Stephen Hawking, A Brief History of Time. Turn the Ship Around. Which may be the one that we go through. The Culture Code. The Mother Tongue. Can I? Nice. Turn the Ship Around. The site is actually well designed, not gonna lie. The Power of Moments by Chip Heath and Dan Heath, which are also authors of the best-selling author of Switch and Made to Stick, which are both, I guess, about habits and learning, something like this. Talking to Strangers, The 4 Tendencies by Gretchen Rubin, who is also known for another book. Brain on Fire, Month of Madness, Minimalism, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, Fast Food Nation. Well, let's actually see. I would actually, The Power of Moments. I think that I went through it already, so I'm probably gonna ditch it. The Ideal Team Player, but I guess we are either going through Stephen Hawking and A Brief History of Time that I went through before, or The 4 Disciplines of Execution, which may be the case. It is probably going to redirect us to the shortform.com site, I assume. No, it's actually not going to do so. So apparently can I read the whole one? Because he sometimes does. Well, it is actually a pretty short thingy thing. A short thingy thing. What about start your free trial? No, I'm not going to do so, but I do want to check out whether we can find something great on shortform.com so that I can add it to the list of Pricing. Well, I don't know how good the summaries are. I do remember that Alan Chang was actually one of the greatest books or best book summaries that you can find on the web. Of course, there are a trillion other sites, and then also on Medium, you're probably going to be able to find a lot. So this is also a little bit of a tip if you're searching for something specific that you cannot find on said platforms, on said sites. But can I actually go back? Our content. There we go. Interesting. Book guides, yeah, guides. Write simply and logically. Popular book guides, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and so on, like the things that we know about. What if I go back 2 times? Nope. Everything is a bit slow today for whatever reason. Browse books. Or browse. Browse. Whatever. Or then I have to sign up. So, let's actually go through the 4 disciplines of execution. Number 1. Wants to learn the ideas in the 4 disciplines of execution better than ever? Read the world's #1 book summary of the, well, blah, 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 blah. There's also a video of it if you want to check the video out. But yeah. 1-page summary of the 4 disciplines of execution, an overview. The 4 disciplines of execution is a book that teaches business as how to succeed. It focuses on the commitments made by companies and it helps them achieve these goals. The key to success in any company is for employees to be held accountable for their tasks, but not overwhelmed with new projects and responsibilities. The first step is to identify 1 or 2 goals that would have the most significant impact on your business. These are things you can achieve in a few years. In the second step, these goals must be broken down into leading indicators that predict whether those goals will happen. The first step is creating a scoreboard to everyone, so everyone can see how well they are doing. The final step is for each person to report his or her progress toward their goal and leading indicator every week at a meeting with other employees who are working on similar projects. May actually be pretty important that it is not the same. Then discuss what needs to happen next week. The 4 disciplines of execution are critical to the success of any business. It is important for leaders to define their WIGS and lead measures, as well as train employees on how to implement these new strategies. Once the company has launched its plan, it must follow up with regular coaching sessions and quarterly assessments. Franklin Covey has helped many companies use these 4 disciplines in order to achieve their goals successfully. I do want to point out that this may not necessarily be only about businesses. May actually also be about politics, because states are also very big businesses from time to time. At least I feel about them in this way. Anyway, it might actually also be very important for your personal life and for yourself, and also when you're having to do some team projects, for example, as I'm having to do them in uni. Might be able to get further or get ahead quickly by doing so, even though I do not necessarily like, but often find myself in a leading position just because I do want things to go ahead, period. And I hate it. I really, well, hating is such a big word, but I do really dislike when things are not going as quickly and as smoothly as they could very, very easily go. And then it just makes sense to be the one that initiates it. When you're upset with something, you can do something about that. So taking initiative and doing something rather than complaining and doing nothing just makes sense, at least at my point of view. Do you see this? No, you don't. Wednesday. Just checking some emails because I'm waiting for an answer that I haven't gotten yet. Key takeaways. The biggest obstacle to achieving goals in business is the everyday activities that are urgent but not important. The first step to pursuing a goal is narrowing down your list of goals so you can focus on only 1 or 2 of them. He needs to set a time limit for each goal and also decide what exactly needs to be done by when. In order to achieve an impactful goal, leaders need to make sure that it is a WIG, widely important goal. A WIG is something that has a big impact and gets input from both the leader and team members. It should also be measurable with regards to what impact the team and its leader can have on it. The second step is in execution is to identify lead measures that employees can affect and will predict progress toward the goal. Lead measures are either specific behaviors or the outcomes of those behaviors. They must be high impact, ongoing processes. The third discipline of execution is to create a simple and comprehensive scoreboard that shows progress towards the widely important goal. It is also imperative to employees to keep track of their progress, celebrate when they win, and be held accountable by someone who updates the scoreboard regularly. The fourth discipline is to hold weekly meetings where employees are held accountable for their progress on the lead measures. The four disciplines are the key to implementing a WIG. The leader is responsible for this, and it is important that they take the lead in defining the WIG and lead measures. They must also train their team members on these concepts, launch initiatives based on them, provide continuous coaching to their employees, and monitor progress every 3 weeks. The leader is the one who can make or break a plan. He/she must be must be consistent, accountable, and focused on making sure that everything goes smoothly. Key takeaway 1. Oh, I see. Enjoy the summer. Subscribe to my next book summary in your email. The only thing that's left is key takeaway number 1. The chief obstacle to sustaining progress towards goal in business is the whirlwind of everyday activity that is more urgent but less important. Many special projects in business don't last long enough to accomplish their goals because they are difficult to execute. They get buried under the daily whirlwind of activity and can be forgotten about instead of developing programs or strategies for managing the whirlwind. It is better to make new projects so easy that they take very little time out of your day, which will allow you to still finish all other tasks. I don't know if there isn't more to it, but apparently this is the end of the summary. I do want to quickly check out whether we can read something on short form, and yeah, I did it. Read summary plus analysis. What if I click on it? There we go. We can actually read complete guide to Tools of Titans. Introduction. Well, you would have to sign up for free, but you can read the 1-page summary to some degree. Not fully, but you can to some degree. I do want to repeat some pretty good book summary sites again. I have covered many of the sites before. There's some videos on YouTube that only show them. They are also then linked in the description, yada yada yada. On the other hand, I went through a lot of book summaries, so if you want to listen to something, you can search for it on the podcast, you can search for it on YouTube, and it is going to be covered in some or the other way, often multiple episodes, so mostly numbered, sometimes are fucked up, but yeah. Short form, I guess if you want to buy something, then I would assume that it is a good option. On the other hand, free sites are bestbookbits.com, thepowermoves.com, Nat Eliasson, amazing site, amazing articles. Then Paul Miners, also really great. James Clear is also having some book summaries. Then we're having, of course, Samuel Thomas Davis, or David, I guess. I'm sorry. Yeah, Samuel Thomas Davis. Also back in the day, a pretty good site. Let's actually see whether we can find something rather. December 1st, 2021, The Gap and the Game by Benjamin Hardy was the last one they uploaded, but there's also a ton of book summaries, as you can see. Blah 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 blah. I think that I may have covered all the ones that and Derek Sivers, which is, I think, Derek.se, but I may be wrong. Google for Derek Sivers book summaries and you're probably gonna find it. But yeah, up to this point, thank you very much for listening or for watching. I'll hopefully see you the next time. So, bye bye.